On December 22, bold and beautiful finally returned Christian Weissman's Remy Price to the canvas after more than a month off screen. You'll recall that all hell broke loose in late October when the young man showed up at Forrester Creations at a party celebrating the hiring of his boyfriend, Deke Sharp. Read the recap. Even Remy's pal, the late Luna Nozawa, had warned him that attending the shindig was a bad idea. But attend, he did, thereby revealing to Deke that he'd terrorized jewelry designer Electra Forrester. The story goes all the way back to Remy and Electra's days in high school in Texas. She was his best friend, but he wasn't necessarily a good friend. He wanted her all to himself, so he created deepfake nudes of her to isolate her from their other acquaintances and make her completely dependent on him. Even as Electra left town to escape from the scandal, she was never aware of her tormentor's identity. Once Remy read that Electra had been hired at Forrester Creations in LA, he relocated himself and once again set about terrorizing her with doctored photos. Only when she spotted the stalker wall TM in his apartment did she realize that she'd been betrayed terribly by someone she'd trusted. She ran from Remy and was saved during a rooftop confrontation by her boyfriend, Will Spencer. Later, we'd learn that Remy had been struggling with his sexuality and had been pretty messed up in the head. Once he fell for Deke and the two of them embarked on a romance, Remy had become a completely different person. But fearful of Deke's reaction to his past misdeeds, Remy asked his boo not to so much as mention his name around Forrester Creations. Then one day out of nowhere, Remy decided he'd just go ahead and attend the work party for Deke. Remy had to know that Electra would freak, that Will would want to punch out his lights, that he would not be served a slice of cake. But he went anyway. When the fit hit the shan, Deke called what his significant other had done to Electra deranged. Remy pleaded with him not to judge him for the person he was but the person that he is now, but his entreaties fell on deaf ears. When last we saw Remy, he was determined to prove to Deke and everyone else that he was a changed man. It would be an uphill battle, but we have a hunch that he'll win it if only so that the show can keep the appealing Weissman around. In Monday's episode, recapped here, Remy ran into his ex at Il Giardino, where he'd been hoping that Deacon could find the words to get through to the proprietor's son. Alas, Deke didn't have the headspace for apologies at that moment. He'd just been canned from Forrester Creations. Anybody else think that perhaps once the beaux are reunited, they'll find a place to design together at Katie's new fashion house?